Good evening. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Larry Potell. I have a question here that was brought up by Mr. Harrington, that he said it is a double track on both sides of this project. The Santa Susana Pass is a single track. It is not a double track. So how can you make, I'm just bringing it up, you don't have to answer me now, you just answer it later. How can you bring it up? Because we all know it is a single track, because that's where the big accident occurred. That accident never occurred in our area, it occurred on the single track at Chatsworth. Okay, nextly, I don't know how some of those questions were up there. We sent this out to Metro. Our steering committee, with the help of a lot of neighbors, came up with a bunch of questions. Only about half of those questions are there. And this went to Metro and they answered them. And we got some of the most ridiculous answers you could imagine. And if anyone would like to have a copy of this, you're more than welcome to contact me. So let me go on to what my presentation is. First, I want to thank Metro for setting this up. Ms. Wiggins came out on Friday night and talked with us and gave us the opportunity to give our say today. And we really appreciate that. From our point of view, this project occurred fall of 2010. It is in their writing that we know that. May of 2013, Mr. Durkin and Mr. Sepulveda came out to the Northridge Council and put a spin on something saying that, oh, this is a great project, it's going to be safety, everything. Well, there were 14 people at that meeting. Anybody who was affected by that was not there, and nothing was told to any one of us. Anyone who lives in the neighborhood, we knew nothing about this project. Then, in April of 2015, just a few months ago, Don Sepulveda and Mark Durkin from Metro showed up at the Northridge South Council meeting again to discuss this project. It was never on the agenda. They just showed up. There were about 15 people at that meeting. It so happened that one of the persons who's affected by this happened to be at that meeting. And he was like, wait, well, I don't know anything about this. So what he did was he contacted his neighbors, right, just his close neighbors, and asked them if they knew anything about it. No one knew anything about it. So there was a May meeting with the Northwood South Council. There was about 25 people that attended this, and they decided we better tell the entire neighborhood. So one of the neighbors was nice enough, and he walked around and he put flyers. Every one of you got flyers. That was from TAC, and we really appreciate what TAC did, and we found out about it. So at the next meeting, the June meeting, we had over 100 people there trying to figure out what is going on in our neighborhood. We had over 750 signatures asking for this to be stopped. And we expect over 1,000, because I've gotten over 100 already in the last day. Question 1, why did Metro decide to put a double track in a residential area that is already bombarded and overloaded with vibration, noise, whistleblowing, and pollution from the trains, especially in an area that was severely impacted by the Northridge earthquake? Question 2, please explain how the double track, not the project. We do want the safety features on the streets, on the crossings. We have nothing against that. All of that is fine. But please explain how the double track can increase safety for the homes on the side of the track. Under the public notification section, in the categorical exclusion, for those of you who don't know, this is on Metro's website, so it's not hidden. It's not hidden from anyone. We read this over and over and over again. And we have found fabrications, misrepresentations in this entire thing. I contacted the Federal Railroad Administration to let them know, and I'm waiting for a final answer from them if this is even acceptable. But anyway, this is garbage. This is totally garbage. They already told you that under the noise, that they didn't do it. They did it on a model. They didn't even come out here. And under the noise section, it says noise and vibration. There's not one word in here about vibration. So let me go back to my questions. Okay, it says here, now one objection was raised at any of the meetings, and the public asked, how can they contribute and support this project? This was the answer we got. Metro was not legally required to hold public hearings for this project, given the low-level impacts noted in the technical reports and the fact that trains have been operating continuously in the corridor since 1913. The transportation land use impacts already existing when homes were built in the 1950s. Outreach was done to the level deemed necessary given the existing condition. However, if you pull all of Metro's memos, and I have them all because they're all online, every one of them states that community outreach is of extreme importance. Every one of the memos states that. How is that of extreme importance if this has been going on since 2010 and we didn't even know about it? Another question. Wouldn't it be a conflict of interest if a contractor on this project lives in this neighborhood and didn't bother to tell anybody in this neighborhood about this project? That occurred. Okay, on page 2 of the categorical exclusion document, under the NEPA class of action, there are 5 items marked no. If they were marked yes, this would have been turned down. They were marked no. And you tell me, should these have been marked no? Will the proposal substantially impact the natural, social, and or human environment? No, it's not going to impact us. What can we say? Is the significance of the proposal social, economic, or environmental impacts unknown? Of course they know what they're going to be. They may not know specifically, but they know some of them. Is the proposal likely to require detailed evaluation of more than a few potential impacts? Yeah. If you looked at the report, they checked the squirrels, they checked the birds, they checked the trees, they checked the plants. They didn't check the people. So I guess we're below all of them. We're at the bottom of the thing. Is the proposal likely to generate intense public discussions or concerns? No. Goodness gracious. Is the proposal an integral part of a program of current federally supported actions, which when considered separately would not be classified as a major action, but when considered together may result in substantial impacts? Okay. It's at this point I would ask Metro this, and they may not have the answer, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. They probably do not have the answer, but we've all been reading the newspapers. There's the bomb train, the Phillips 66 train. They're looking for a way to go from Canada through San Luis Obispo. Are they going to come down our track now? Are we all going to be subject to that? Then there's the high-speed rail. We know the high-speed rail is going on the Sylmar, the San Fernando. We already know that. At least we think we know that. However, it was brought up to us, well, this will be a major feeder line for that. Okay, so we're adding more. Okay. Also under the public notification section, they state, also because the project area is an active commuter rail corridor and the project does not propose any expansion or use of trains. I don't know any way other to say this, but this is a blatant lie. This is their fact sheet. This is their fact sheet. In here they say they're adding trains. So they told the federal government they were not adding trains, but they are telling the neighbors and everyone else in Southern California they are adding trains. Blatant lie.
Who's the name?
Anyone. This is to everyone. What? Metro. Metro publishes. Oh yeah, Metro publishes.
And then let me add, Larry, that the FRA gave Metro $6 million to do this, based upon the lie that no trains were being added.
Okay, and then the answer to that, when we asked her, was this. The main reason for embarking on this project is to improve safety along the rail corridor. That was the answer. I don't know how that's an answer. Okay, then you'll like this one too. What is being done to mitigate the devaluation of property value? We are not aware of any evidence to support the contention that a double track along an active railroad right-of-way decreases property values. In fact, replacing a single track and a side track could increase property values. So they're saying, I mean, when we talked to Shirley Cool's office, she didn't want to tell me that one. She was so embarrassed. Shirley Cool's office invited us to the September 16th Metro Planning Committee meeting and the September 24th Board of Directors meeting to make a presentation. However, she said she does not have the right to put us on the agenda. Metro does. We are asking at this time that we want to be put on the agenda. Mr. Washington, maybe you can put on the agenda. Okay, so Nicole,
The chair.
It's the chair.
Who's the chair?
Chair Mark.
Can you?
No talking, I'll let you.
Okay. I would like to thank everybody for listening to the facts that our steering committee came up with and understanding the concerns that our committee has. I also want to again thank Metro for putting a hold on the project to reevaluate what is going on and make sure that our community will be involved in the final outcome. That I appreciate. At this time, I want to take a couple of minutes to talk, not as a steering committee member, but rather as a homeowner that lives next door to the track. My wife and myself built our house back in 1985. At that time, we were looking to buy land. We talked to numerous neighbors to ask them about the railroad track. They told me not to worry about the tracks because there are only about 6 trains that come by these tracks on a daily basis, and you get used to those. When we first moved in, it was like living in a country setting in the middle of the city. Some of my neighbors had sheep, goats, and horses. I used to watch the horses ridden down my street in addition to watching the horses being ridden on the side of the railroad track. At that time, my young son would sit in the backyard watching in awe as the train went by. Well, that all changed in the early 1990s. A decision was made to add more trains to our line for Metro or Metrolink, I can't remember who it was. The original decision was to put those trains on the line that went from Warner Center through North Hollywood. However, the people and politicians, and one of our senators lived there, the people and politicians that were on that line had more clout than we did, and they put the train track down our area. So since that time, our small 6 trains a day has changed to over 35 trains a day. And with the approval of this project, the amount of those trains can grow substantially. Not only that, but we will be primed for the bomb trains and a feeder line for the high-speed rail. Because of the train right-of-way, they have done this without any community input nor environmental impact report. The one in 1990, there was no environmental impact report either. They said they don't have to do it. I don't know how they can get away with it. If a bird they could do it on, but not a person. Morally or ethically, is it correct? No. I've already brought up questions regarding the project. I appreciate that Metro is reevaluating it. I also appreciate that Ms. Wiggins and a few other members from Metro and Metrolink were willing to meet with a few of our community members on Friday night and listen to our concerns. If you would like to talk today, please discuss it in a proper, respectful manner. On a final note, I promise this is my final note, and a personal note, my wife and myself are retiring in June and had planned to remodel our home this summer. However, we put that on hold when we found out about this project and learned that any improvement made on our property will not add value. You're just putting money in to the trash can. As a final overarching comment, I want you all to remember what our Declaration of Independence proclaims. We all have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And boy, they have really taken away that happiness over the last few months. Thank you.